Alrighty, so this is my prediction list. It's actually going to pop up probably a day or two before Comic Con, and then I will make a follow up video to see how accurate it was. But basically, I'm just going to predict, I'm going to discuss what I think we will see, and then what I hope we see, or I guess wishful thinking, or maybe something that's maybe down the pipeline a little bit, um, just for the heck of it, and let's see how accurate I am. Can I predict the future? Let's find out. So we're gonna start with Ultimates because Ultimates are basically the be all end all right now. Huge increase in Ultimate love. At first it was kind of like okay, cool, get the same 8 or 9 guys. Now people want more and more Ultimates. I'm a big fan of the Ultimates. So who I know we're going to see is we're going to see. Well, we already saw Bobby Lashley complete, not in package or like that. So I think we're going to see Bob. We're going to definitely see Bobby there. I think we'll see a finished Kurt Angle and Bianca Belair because again, Randy Orton and Macho Man are coming out here. Randy's on his way. I'll have my Randy's on Friday. So by October, I definitely see us getting Lashley and Kurt and Bianca Belair. Do I think we'll see you Ultimate Edition 20? I think so, and I think there's a Matt Riddle could be coming through that since we got the tag team Orton. Just a random tag team Orton when we could have had all the other options, all the other looks of Randy, all the world title runs with Randy. We got a generic tag team. I feel like Riddle's coming because of that. Because you need tag teams to team up with against the Usos. You have the Ultimate Usos coming. I think they might be on display as well. I didn't put them in here because we already know they're coming in July. They might ship out before Comic Con. They might be right after it. But nonetheless, I've got 2 ordered. Do you? Of course, we're also going to see Coliseum Collection, Roddy Piper and George Steele. The pre-order will probably pop up here on that day. I wouldn't imagine we'll probably see, just like we saw last time they showed Wave 1 and 2 and 3 snuck in. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see those first 3 waves, and then we see the 2 new 4th wave members, who they may be. I think Steve was talking about how he was trying to get those, set up to where you can probably be at the Comic Con event and see those new ones. If nothing else, then we'll see renders of them, or at least the announcement. Of course, we're going to see the Rock Target exclusive. We're going to see the Brock and the RVD Best of Ruthless Aggression Wave 2 because they'll probably have Eddie and Ray on there as well just because it's Comic Con. You want all the eyes on your product as much as you can get. Do I think we will see maybe completed Bret Hart and Roddy Piper? Probably not. Maybe not. But at least maybe renders. I feel like renders, and definitely probably a grayscale render of the Eddie Guerrero from the Wave 2, as well as the second person that they did not announce. Now, if it's Monday Night Wars and we're going with the WWE and a WCW, I honestly am hoping it's Mankind. I think Mankind is long overdue in that wave. I mean, we've got almost all the Attitude kind of big players. We got Kurt coming. He wasn't. I know he was more late end of Attitude really, but you got Rock, you got Austin, you got a Triple H that needs to be redone in butterfly joints, but I don't think you need to. I think you do a best of Ruthless Aggression wave and throw that Triple H with butterfly joints. I know they just redid it in the best of series with the Bret Hart, and of course they didn't change anything on there. But I think now that they've found the formula and they're like, okay, if we're gonna redo this best of, we need to bring back the Triple H. Maybe they announce best of Wave 3 where you got Finn Balor. I would like to see Edge, but I don't see Edge being done as a redo of his current attire. You have to change his attire because you can't do the R anymore. You can't do that look. That R with the box around it can't happen. So I think we're going to see that as well. Maybe not Edge, but we're going to definitely see the best of Ultimate Edition 3, which will then, maybe if Bill gets his way, we're going to see Shinsuke Nakamura get an upgrade to butterfly joints, and that'd be fine. I'd be okay with it. I mean, the guy works, he's in charge. He's one of the people in charge. He kind of, pulls some stuff, and, not everybody he doesn't choose the best all the time. Some people say, why is he doing this to us? Why is he making Eddie jacked? Why is he doing that and this and that? At the same time, the guy does provide great stuff. I mean, Mattel, WWE, that first 12 days of fandom, the first thing they dropped is the Muhammad Ali San Diego Comic Con exclusive. Not something I personally was hankering for, but if it works, it works. Will I buy one? I might. I know there's a lot of stuff coming up. I didn't mention it, but we're also going to discuss things that probably will pop up or be announced through other companies as well. And I'm not just a Mattel fanboy. I mean, I like Mattel, but I also like Jazzwares. I like Boss Fight. Um, I love Power Town. No, don't get me started. I can't wait for Wave 2. I keep checking that religiously, hoping that it's going to pop up here soon. Because Power Town it's a big boy purchase. I mean, it's, $200 something for those 6 figures. But I'm digressing. What I hope is in the pipeline is we get Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens with his feud with Austin. I know he just did the Elite where he had that attire look. But I feel like you need Zayn and you need Owens because you're going to have the Usos. I think you're going to have Matt Riddle, so you're going to have Orton and Riddle. You have the Usos, Sami and Zayn. Hey, those are these are great ultimates to team up because I know not everybody likes to mix and match their figures. I like to try to keep mine ultimates with ultimates, elites with elites. I know some people like to do the cross thing and the open door or whatever forbidden door concept, and that's cool. But I think that if they're going to go that route, if they're going to do tag team ultimates, you're going to have tag teams to face them. Because otherwise, it's like you're going to have the Usos taking on Hulk Hogan and Mr. T, or, the HBK and Diesel. And they're going to, maybe New Day. That'd be kind of cool, too. I didn't put a New Day in there. I'm hoping, and it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. It may not even happen in the Ultimate line. It may just be an Elite. I think Psycho Sid would be perfect. I mean, they've got the body for him. We need bigger guys. We can't have Big Show. We got Undertaker. We got Kane. Hey, Sid was a world champion. I think Sid needs some love. Do I think we're going to see a Scott Steiner? I think we had our chance with an Ultimate on the Nitro stage. I know we're going to see one in Elite coming up here. Spoiler. But didn't know that already. But I don't think we're going to see that. I would also be hoping for a world title run HBK. Not WWE World Heavyweight Champion HBK. I know there's Elite coming up from his Survivor Series 02 win or something like that, which in the poop stained brand pants. And, that tire was garbage. Even Chris Jericho made fun of that. And everybody was like, I guess the tire wasn't done for some reason in time. But I'm talking King of the Ring 96. I'm talking that 96 run. All those beautifully well done tires. I know that, his recent Ultimate is like pre-World Championship, and it's still cool, but at the same time, we're going to get a Attitude Bret Hart figure. I feel like a Shawn Michaels from that early, right before Attitude, because he wasn't around during the Attitude era, like the start of it. I really don't necessarily see us having to do a Survivor Series 97 look again. I think more of a happier 96 against the Bulldog look, or against Big Daddy Cool Diesel when he won the belt the month after, or even WrestleMania 12 would look very sick. Better Triple H, again, if they wanted to re-release that specific attire, they just did that. I don't see that happening, but he had other attires. I mean, WrestleMania 20 would be sick. Hell in the Cell attire would be sick. Even the game from WrestleMania 32, something with a little bit more detail, a little bit more, because the one we got with the butterfly joints, it's the DX, but we don't have a DX Shawn Michaels to go with it, and it was limited time. You had the weird handlebar mustache look. It's not world champion look. So I think it'd be cool to get an Ultimate with butterfly joints in a more iconic look. I would love a WrestleMania 17 with the gold Triple H look to it. But what are your thoughts on that? And ultimately, I know we have Scott Hall coming to Monday Night Wars again, spoiler. I think Kevin Nash is coming. You have Diesel for a while. The crowdfunder's gone. That Diesel is very bare bones. I could see a Kevin Nash easily. And Nash sells better than Scott Hall. I mean, at least, that's their thinking, because he was former world champion WWF. He was world champion WCW. Where Scott was only Intercontinental and U.S., so he only made the middleweight division, while Nash was world champion. On to Elites. Like I said, I think we're going to see Elite 103 and 104 on display for reasons. And the reasons are simply, you got to fill those containers. You got to show people probably some preview night stuff. We'll probably see that stuff so people can go, oh, hey, those are out now? I should go buy those. We'll probably see like one or two new guys in the basic line. I remember one year, when preview night happened, nothing new was shown except for like 4 basic figures, and then the next day, wham, and then the next day, wham. But it sounds like there's only like 2 days happening this time, plus a panel, plus probably some WWE, video thing. I'm waiting to hear what special guests they bring out, because usually when they bring a special guest, that means we're gonna see not 1 but probably 2 figures of that person in Chase. So how sick would it be if they announced Carlito as a special guest? We know we'd be getting not 1 but probably 2 Carlitos. They did with D'Lo Brown. This is the history. The comma was first time was redone as well, but they announced D'Lo Brown just so they could show off not 1 but 2 elite D'Lo Browns. And one was a Nation redone attire, and one was a singles run, beautifully done light blue attire. So I keep checking. I'm waiting to hear. I know Johnny Gargano and Sam Roberts will be hosting the panel. We already know Gargano's coming at Elite 105. We already know that Carmelo Hayes, Steiner, and Dominic Mysterio are in Elite 105. I think we know that Chad Gable's in Elite 106 and a couple other ones. 107 turned out to be bogus. So, no LA Knight currently, although there is planned one for the basic, again, spoiler. But who I hope we see in this pipeline, we hope to see, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. You just got the AJ. I don't see them getting any ultimates. More NXT talent would be nice. Grayson Waller, a couple of the ones I haven't really watched. I know Braun Breaker, obviously Baron Corbin just went back down there. Apollo Crews has been down there for a little while. A few first time in line guys I think we'll definitely be seeing. I don't hold my breath for it. I think Drew Gulak would be awesome. We need a few more. There's only a few cruiserweights really left, and the cruiserweight title's kind of null and void. But Drew's still with the company, and we still got Kushida, and we still got Ali, and we need an updated Cedric Alexander. But if we get those, those 2 guys, I mean, that's a little bit more in the cruiserweight division. They can move up to the updated elite version. But even Drew, just getting 1 elite would be nice, because the only thing we have is a basic from way back when. Legends. We're going to see Legends 20. We might even see Legends 19 on preview night, or just to fill out that shelf. They will probably show, or at least announce, Legends 21. I know they said they're planning to change the packaging, I think, on Legends 20. Or no, 22 I think it is. So probably going to see like renders or grayscales of Legend 22 along with the new packaging design they're going to do. Some redone guys, of course, in the line. That's what the Legend line is about. Maybe 2. I'm going to hope 2 first time in line guys. First time in the line, either they're going, I'm not talking about just like updating. I'm talking like first time in the line, people. Maybe they found some people to sign. I don't know why nobody can find Perry Saturn. Last I heard, he wasn't doing too hot. I'm sure he'd be more than willing to sign and make some money. I know the Steiners and I know Rick and Scott, signed. So someone find Perry Saturn's number. How cool would it be to have a Perry Saturn figure? Now, who I hope's in the pipeline one day? Lance Storm. Billy Kidman, he's with the company. Finley, I think he's back with the company, and the last one they had of him was Elite 4, and wasn't the greatest attire, wasn't even the greatest design. There is a lot more body mold and singlet molds they could use and make him really look great and articulate well. That figure has always had terrible. I mean, first of all, go to ball joints on Finley. Don't do ratchet, or it's just gonna snap off. I've lost a few that way. William Regal's back. I know he's not doing what he wanted to do, and I am just hoping we see at least one new title. Not the redone Roman Reigns gold, all gold, title, or the World Heavyweight, which they said is going to take some time to make that one anyway. What about the WWF Light Heavyweight? We got Scotty 2 Hotty, we got Dean Malenko, we got Jeff Hardy even. We got Christian out there somewhere. The WWF Light Heavyweight title is needed. We have the Cruiserweight. We have the ECW TV, we have the tags with the WCW. The only 2 belts really we're missing is the WWF Light Heavyweight and the WCW Hardcore title. How sick would it be if the WCW Hardcore title came with Ming? or Haku. Is he not? Is he not in good spirits with WWE right now? I thought they were all cool, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's part of that 52 lawsuit, whatever it was. But I hope we see a new title, something, to add to the title for the fan. The fans like collecting wrestling belts. I love it. Right now with Power Town, you got all those new shiny belts. I think Boss Fights is going to start doing belts here. I know the WSX with Vampiro is in the pipeline. So, and then of course you have the NWA and you have the Digital Media Impact title coming. I think they announced the GHC title. What's coming with the writer Matt Cardona figure. So all these belts, but we're still missing some key ones. I'd love to put the WWF Light Heavyweight title on Scotty 2 Hottie. The Best of series. We're going to see more images of the Royal Rumble and Survivor Series build figures. I won't be surprised if we don't see them in box by then. Maybe a future gray render of some figures. More images of the Best of Wave 3. Maybe they'll announce 4. I mean, really all they're really doing is taking guys who've already been made and they're updating them. We know with R-Truth, it's not his most recent. It's going to be like from Elite 10. So if they're really going back and dialing that far back, we got to think who's still with the company that could even be updated like that. Obviously, they have Legends, obviously, they could go to. We know Typhoon and Earthquake are coming, which is awesome. Because the only Earthquake we have is that blue with the Canadian flag, in the new updated. So I call it Elite Plus. We'll call it Elite Plus. We only have Earthquake and Elite Plus in that gaudy Canadian light blue, bleh, no real detail to it. Whereas his Earthquake and Typhoon, the natural disasters look is going to be awesome. I know that they're doing Beefcake, updating him, despite he just barely came out a little while ago, but that figure was hard to find. With Greg the Hammer Valentine and the Honky Tonk Man now being announced to come out, it's only natural to put Beefcake, because Beefcake and Greg were, a tag team champions at one time. So my guess is, where is $1 Million Man? Not in the suit, but where's his wrestling attire look? Maybe an Ultimate in the future, but if not, I think a Wrestling Elite, the only Wrestling Elite we have of that is from way back when on like Hall of Fame Wave 3 or something like that. I remember finding that at Target before this was come out. I don't know how it was just there. It was just randomly there. And I was, tickled pink is what they call it, I think, back in the day. I wasn't that, but that's what the term people used at one time. Let's just say this. I was happy to find it and not to pay a bunch of money. Who I hope to see, though, is we get an updated Miz. I know we just got Miz and Best of Ruthless Aggression, but that is like chick magnet, jobber status Miz. I'm talking about the guy won the world title in 2021, and we haven't seen a new figure of him in a while. So I know he's got Logan Paul. Maybe they're going to do something with the Miz, but if not, even just getting an updated Miz, like, his world title win would be awesome. He's got some cool new attires. I don't necessarily think they're going to put massive balls on his tights, or his trunks. Viking Raiders. Are they even called the Viking Raiders anymore? I don't even know what they are anymore. I know that they've come back. They have a different look, more decal. So they would be kind of cool to see. We just got Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. We need more tag teams. I think like I said, we're going to see Chad Gable and Otis is probably just along as well. One guy I don't think we're going to see at all is Bobby Roode. He's been null and void for a while. He was in a basic wave. I thought we were going to see the Dirty Dogs in elite form. We got Dolph, basically, but no Bobby Roode. And now he's on the injured shelf list and hasn't been seen as irrelevant at this point. Maybe when he returns, if he returns. Also, guys like Billy Graham, Bob Backlund, Yokozuna. It'd be cool to see an Ultimate Yokozuna. I'd like to see how they make a big, massive guy. They'd be the first one. I think Yoko would be very fitting for that first one. Backlund and Graham, we just got Bruno announced in a green attire, throwback a little bit. So I could see Graham and Bob Backlund also being put into that kind of like line, more than an Ultimate. I can't think of, there's no Bob Backlund LJN. Was there a Billy Graham LJN? I don't think there was even a Billy Graham LJN. So I don't see them going to the Coliseum collection. I can see Bruno maybe. But they just announced an elite one, so I don't know if they're going to double dip like that. But then again, this is a company that literally just produced Muhammad Ali. in not one but two forms in the same box. So we'll find out. And then basics. We're going to see basic 141, basic 142, in the future couple of first time online characters. I know LA Knight apparently is listed for that. Top Dollar was also announced in the rumor mills. Pretty Deadly, Grayson Waller. I may have spelled his name wrong. I don't know. I see definitely some first time online, but I also see a lot of repaints. I see a lot of just buy the numbers, get Roman, get Seth, get those top sellers out there, get another Ray out there maybe. In the LWO, I don't know, I don't see them happening. I don't see Angel Garza or Humberto Carrillo in Elite or even Basics right now. Like they've just been completely in the void of anything going on. Then finally, the Monday Night Wars. And I'm sorry I didn't really say they want Basics because it'd be cool to have them first time online guys. But let's face it, those things are literally just shelf statues at this point with how articulated they are. We're going to see Monday Night Wars Wave 1 fully on display, I would think. Maybe some in package, maybe some not in package. I think announcement of Wave 2 or partially of Wave 3 will probably be also happening to really start building that. But then again, we didn't get the Monday Night Nitro stage, and we will not be getting the Monday Night Raw's War stage. So I wonder if that's going to cut back on their plans. I think maybe they thought that these stages were going to just fly off, as far as a big seller, and it would justify just throwing all these Monday Night characters out there. And when it didn't happen, like I said, we didn't see anything or any real announcements. So they're keeping it hush, or maybe they're just like, this wave might be not as popular as we once thought it was going to be. I think we're going to see the Eric Bischoff and the WCW ring, because all that really is just the ring we've already paid for when we bought the new gen crowdfunder with some WCW's ring skirts and ring ropes and the new Eric Bischoff, which we saw gray renders of way back when. So I'm definitely think we're going to see that. But again, I think that they soured on the Monday Night Wars when we, as a collective, said we don't really want stages of these shows. We don't care about that Monday Night War stuff. What I do hope, though, is we would see some cool attires. I hope we do see maybe a redone Stevie Ray from his solo now run look. Stupid autocorrect. It was Stevie Ray from his solo NWO run look. So, yeah, stupid autocorrect on that one. I should have double checked that. That's my fault. But I'm really hoping we do see some of that kind of stuff.